I don't want to welcome you tonight. I don't want to comfort you or pretend this space is safe. Because some stories don't exist to soothe you. They exist to warn you. And if you're listening to this alone, in a quiet room, I want you to stay exactly where you are. Don't check your reflection. Don't adjust your posture. Just listen. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't entertainment. It's a confession. And once you hear it, you won't be able to unknow it. This is the 11th glitch. And if you've ever felt reality blink while you stayed awake, then you already understand what a thin spot feels like. This is where I step out of the simulation with you and talk like family, because family warns each other. And if you've ever experienced something you can't explain, a crack in reality that still follows you, don't keep it to yourself. Send me your stories on the 11th Glitch Instagram. The link is always waiting for you in the description. And tonight, I need to warn you about mirrors. My name is Peter, and I used to believe peace was something you could build brick by brick. A good job, a loving partner, a quiet southern town where nothing strange ever happens. Suzi and I lived on the outskirts of that kind of place, where evenings stretched slowly and people waved because fear had never taught them otherwise. We bought our house through a local agent, Ms. C, polished and reassuring in that way that makes you stop asking questions. We moved in on December 2nd, 2025, right before Christmas, and for the first 2 weeks, the house felt warm, almost affectionate, like it approved of us being there. And only now do I understand how dangerous comfort can be, because it lowers your guard better than fear ever could. About 15 days in, I had an afternoon off and came home before Suzi. The house was quiet in a way that pressed against my ears. So I wandered, touching walls and opening doors, getting familiar. And that's when I noticed a thin seam in the ceiling of the upper hallway, an attic door that was never mentioned. I wasn't scared, I was curious. And when I poked the latch, the ladder dropped down with a wooden creak that sounded like something stretching after a long sleep. The attic smelled of cedar and ancient dust, not decay, but preservation. And behind heavy, spider-webbed curtains, I found stacks of carefully arranged objects, not abandoned, but kept. And in the corner, where the light couldn't quite reach, there was a heavy wooden box with a single name etched into it: Zoyee. I felt excited, and that admission still makes me feel sick. Because when Suzi came home and saw the box, her face flashed with pure fear before she masked it with a smile. Inside were pristine collector's items, and beneath them a heavy, silver-backed Victorian mirror that didn't reflect the room so much as pull it inward. I joked about selling it all and paying off half the house, but Suzi cut me off, cold and final, saying she wasn't selling the mirror, she was keeping it. And from that moment, she began to change slowly, wearing heavy theatrical makeup, holding herself differently, growing distant yet intense. Some nights I found her seated deliberately at her makeup desk in front of the mirror, brushing her hair slowly, posture intimate but controlled, like someone preparing for an audience rather than admiring themselves. She looked beautiful in a way that felt sharpened, refined, unfamiliar. And that night, she felt like a stranger in my arms. Until the night I woke, unable to move, crushed beneath a weight I couldn't fight. Red moonlight filling the room and stealing all sound. Suzi was on top of me, close enough that I could feel her breath, her posture intimate but wrong. Her smile stretched too wide, her face no longer hers, laughing without sound, while her eyes fixed on me like I was something being studied rather than loved. And I understood then that I wasn't being attacked, I was being evaluated. When I finally broke free, she stood against the wall with eyes vibrating in their sockets, and behind her, I saw the glitch. A Victorian woman, half merged with her body, hands gripping her like a coat being worn, smiling at me with patient ownership. I fainted, and when I woke, Suzi was holding my hand, and for a moment, I believed it was over, until I saw the woman standing calmly in the corner, smiling, waiting. I gathered every ounce of courage I have left, walked toward the makeup desk with my hands shaking, grabbed the mirror, and smashed it with everything inside me, the silver glass screaming as it shattered, and Suzi collapsed instantly, clutching her throat, gasping as if invisible hands were pulling her backward into something unseen. I didn't think. I carried her to the car and drove straight to the hospital, running red lights, begging her to stay with me. And she survived. Barely. Days of observation, oxygen, doctors who couldn't explain what they saw. Only after she was stable did we take the remaining shards to an expert in occult artifacts, someone who didn't laugh when I told him everything, and he explained that silver mirrors don't just reflect, they conduct, recording grief, faces, and death until they become slow mirrors, mimics, thin spots, debt collectors. And that mirror had chosen Suzi as payment. We moved after that. We don't own mirrors anymore. Not yet. Because sometimes, when I catch my reflection in a dark window, I still see that Victorian smile appear a fraction of a second too late. And that's why I'm asking you this quietly and honestly. Would you have kept the mirror, or would you have noticed the glitch before it noticed you? Stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next one.